Hi everyone, it's Abbey here from TV4Education and welcome to another YouTube live session where I show you some of the content that we have available on TV4Education related to a particular subject. And today's subject is the Black Death in medieval history. So if you're a history teacher and you think that this would be relevant to you and your students, make sure to stick around so I can show you some of the TV4Education videos, YouTube content and smart lessons that we have available on TV4Education for you and your students. So I'll take you to my home screen and we'll get started. So as always, we start on the TV4Ed home screen, and you can always do a subject search where my cursor is here. You can click subjects, you can go to HAS, you can go to history, and then you can go to medieval history. And this will do a general search of all of the content that has been tagged with medieval history. But if you're looking for something more specific, like we are, in this case the Black Death, then you can just go to the smart search bar up here and type in whatever it is that you want. So I'll type in Black Death, and you can see I've got smart search selected here, which means it will search the title, the description and the tags, whereas if I click title, it will just search the title. So we'll do a smart search first, and you can see all of the content that comes up. All of the things at the top are the most recent content, and then it gets less recent as you scroll down. So you can see we have numerous programs here. We've got this episode of Dates That Made History, which is a popular ABC series, commonly used teachers teaching history to upper primary, lower secondary levels. So you can add that to your My Items. You can see that we have some individual documentaries. You can see we've got a history documentary here, Mystery of the Black Death, another history documentary, Return of the Black Death, and then you can see here's an SBS documentary, which is Fade to Black. You can see there's an episode of How the World Ends Here, Pandemic. So this one isn't just on the Black Death, as you can see from the description. It's also on the Spanish flu and Zika, smallpox, things like that. So you can add this to your My Items if you like. You can also add it to a lesson if you just wanted to clip out just the Black Death section. If once you add it to a smart lesson, you can go into the video, use our clipping tool, and you can just clip out the Black Death section. And that means when you play it for your students or when they play it for themselves at home, they'll just be able to see that and they don't have to worry about all the other content in the video. So you can see more. You can see that there's a TED-Ed lesson here on the Black Death as well. You can see that there is a history podcast if you're looking for some audio content rather than video content. You can see there's an episode of Michael Mosley's show called Pain, which talks about painful diseases. You can see here it talks about Black Death as well as influenza and other infectious diseases. Once again, you can just clip out the Black Death section, or if you're just studying diseases in general, you can show the whole thing to your students. You can see here there's an episode of the British, which obviously this episode delves into the Black Death arriving in Britain in the medieval times. So you can see all of the content that we have. You can do a title search if you want. If you just want to search for things with Black Death in the title, you want to be more specific. You want content that's just on the Black Death, nothing else, no programs that are about pandemics in general or diseases in general or just medieval history in general. So you can see here all of these have Black Death in the title, so you can see that they are all relevant to the Black Death. So we've got numerous documentaries, TV series, podcasts, etc. That you can use for your students. So now if you're wanting to search through YouTube, you've looked through TV4Ed, now you want to search through YouTube, you don't need to do anything. You can just click straight to YouTube here. You don't need to go back to the home screen. So I'll go back to Smart Search, not just a title search, and I'll click YouTube here and it will automatically search through YouTube for me. So you can see the content that is available currently on YouTube on the Black Death. So you can see that there's some NBC content here, there's a real life law video here, as well as some TED-Ed videos that are available on the Black Death. You can see there's a BBC documentary, there's a National Geographic video there. So there is a wide variety of videos that you can search through, and you add them to your My Items the same way you add anything from TV4Ed. You just click on the video and you can add it to your My Items, and you can also add it to any of your smart lessons, whether they be resource lists, video lessons, or whatever it is. And you can play it to your students or share it with them so that they can watch it at home. So then you can move on to lessons. So if you click lessons here, you'll be able to see what we have available. So you can see that there is a resource list here. So this will just be video resources, maybe some written resources as well on the Black Death. So to view it, you can add it to your library, and then when you go to your My Items, you'll be able to click on that smart lesson and see all of the content that is available. You can also see what year groups it's available for, so you can say that it's recommended for year 8s and the subjects covered. You can use it for whatever year level, because you can go in and edit it if you want to make the content more advanced or less advanced, whether you can change the questions around, change the resources around, etc. So here we have a video lesson. So this isn't just a list of resources, there will also be questions along with the video resources in this lesson as well. So you can see again, it's recommended for year 8 students, and you can see that there's a rating. The highest rated program in here is PG. So you can go in, and if you want to edit it, you can take out the PG programs or add some questions, whatever it is that you want to do. So you can see here that we also have a TED Ed lesson. So this would have been a video that we found in TV4Ed before, in just the TV4Ed search, but this is a TED Ed lesson. So this won't just contain the video, but it will also contain questions relating to that specific video. So all the questions in there will be related to that specific video. It won't have multiple videos in there. Again, you can see all of the year levels that it's appropriate for. You can see the curriculum codes as well as the subject areas as well. So now that we have looked through all of YouTube, TV4Ed, and the smart lessons, we can go to My Items and we can see what we have added. So you can see here's some of the YouTube and TV4Ed content that we've just added, and then you can see the smart lessons that we've added here as well. So if I click on the resource list, which was the one just titled The Black Death, you can see what is available currently. So you see this one is a resource list, so there'll be no questions. It is just videos. You can see the TED Ed video we saw before, as well as some of the documentaries that we saw before. This was one of the YouTube documentaries. This again is the National Geographic documentary we saw before. This is a Crash Course History episode, which is a popular YouTube series that is often requested by teachers. And then you can see there's also some hyperlinks here, so these might be links to articles, as well as journals on the Black Death, and you can see that there's also some PDF files that you can click on and open up as well. So you can edit this yourself. You can click the bin button, you can edit the titles, edit the hints, you can add your own resources if you wish, you can add your own questions, whatever it is that you want to do. So like before, when I was showing you some of those documentaries that weren't specifically about the Black Death, but they were about diseases in general, and I told you could clip it out, you can. So if you've added it to a smart lesson, you can click the little scissors icon here, and it will open up this window. So then let's say the Black Death section starts around here. You click there, you click this little back arrow, it starts the chapter. Let's say it ends around here. You click this other arrow here, and once you've done that, you can title the chapter if you want. So I'll just title it Black Death. And then you can click Create Chapter, and then that will, then you click the Save button here. That will save for you, and then when you play it to your students, or when your students play it themselves, it will only show them that section on the Black Death, and they won't have to worry about all the other sections on influenza or whatever else it is that the documentary is covering. So that's the resource list that's available. This is the video lesson that we have available. So you can see again, we've got the TED Ed lesson, the dates that made history, and then we've got some of the documentaries that we saw before. So you can see Return of the Black Death, Mystery of the Black Death, Journey into the Dark Ages, as well as Mankind, the Story of All of Us, which is another quite popular history series of documentaries. This one is specifically on plague, so specifically on plagues throughout history, and would obviously include a section on the Black Death. And then you can see that there is some questions down here that are both yes and no questions, multiple choice questions, as well as missing word questions as well. So if you're playing that to your students in class, they can answer the questions as they are watching the videos, or at home if they're watching the videos at home. So you can also see this is the TED Ed lesson that we added as well from Smart Lessons. So you can see it's similar to the video lessons, except instead of multiple videos as well as questions, you have just the one TED Ed video, and then all of the questions relate to that specific video. So that's all of the resources that I have to show you on Black Death today. So I hope you got something out of it, and if you have any suggestions for any subjects you would like for me to cover in any further YouTube lives, make sure to leave them in the comments and I'll get to them as soon as I can. And make sure to check out the description so you can keep up to date with everything going on with TV4Ed, links to our social media, our website, our help articles, as well as our Facebook community group are in there. So make sure you check that out. And I'll see you later on in the week for another YouTube live. And I hope everyone has a good day. Bye everyone.